Welcome back. For the few who have returned and have been following, I hope you have been faring well, as my pick average is fantastic while my wagering has been mediocre to poor. Pick of note was Mooney's by submission last week. Most cappers overlooked him to defeat Jacare. I picked that. Of course, it was just a sparse sprinkle, but it was a win still nonetheless. So regards to this, I suggest that you still like and subscribe. Continue to give me a listen. Get another strategic vantage point and opinion. Be more confident in your betting. This is for edutainment purposes only, and you don't need to pay to play. Drop a comment, ask a question. So I'm going to drop each one of these one by one, starting with Rob Font and CODY Garbrandt. This is a fun fight. Looks like a very fun card. Rob Font, a member of the New England Cartel, is on a 3-fight win streak, while CODY Garbrandt is coming off that incredible KO win versus Asuncion a year ago and has since been out with illness and injury. If we're going to indulge ourselves in MMA math, which most of us do, might as well do it like everybody else. These guys have 3 common opponents in Asuncion, who won a unanimous decision victory over Font. Pedro Muniz, who recently knocked CODY Garbrandt out and submitted Font, and Thomas Almeida, who both KO'd him. So that's not really anything to look at. Some of these fights happened some time ago, with the exception of CODY Garbrandt's recent knockout loss to Pedro Munoz. That was a pretty devastating loss. That's why a lot of people suspect that CODY is a little weakened here, both on the chin and possibly just with his striking being somewhat reckless. Continuing with MMA math, is difficult to find a suitable level opponent on Font's resume, though, as CODY Garbrandt. CODY wins by TKO 83% of the time and averages almost 2 knockouts a fight. So maybe Lineker is the closest in style in that fight. Lineker outstruck Font 80-40, which speaks volumes about Font's chin, toughness, and durability. But that was 5 years ago, and at that time, CODY Garbrandt was fighting Dominic Cruz for the title. It's always sketchy confidence extrapolated from UFC stats. Difficult to determine where the value is. The Tapology crowd is with Font leaning slightly that his volume combined with Garbrandt's willingness to brawl will lead to him finishing Garbrandt via that fragile chin check, while Font's same skill set leads him right into CODY Garbrandt's strength. So who's being sent to the Shadow Realm in this fight? It's currently even money. I have embarrassingly been on the wrong side of the past 3 main events, which has been my crutch. I definitely find myself in another tough spot, as I like Rob Font, and I think CODY's chin is indeed suspect. While fighting some of the best outside of the gym, CODY Garbrandt had a tough time in the gym. At Team Alpha Male, he was in a tough place with some champions. So there's a lot of gym wear, I think, on CODY, as well as just ring time, which suits him a little bit. It helps him in terms of his fight IQ and knowledge, his vision inside of the Apex. And again, we're in the Apex. So I don't think this fight's going the distance. I don't think this fight is even getting outside of round 1, despite what either guy's game plan is. Again, it's the Apex. They're going to be a lot closer to each other. I think instinct is going to prevail. We're going to see an immediate phone booth type fight, with neither of these guys wanting to take this to the ground. There will be a no feel out period. I don't think there's going to be the cat paw dancing around the Apex. So despite CODY having that fragile chin, I think he has the better hands. This might not be a skill fight at all. It's just might be the first to get a crack and land a significant head strike wins. Sounds too easy, right? I think that's too easy too. Well, both guys are willing to engage. I don't think CODY will adopt an alpha male grapple approach. I don't think Font needs to roll either. I have to favor CODY's experience here in main events, as well as his hands. Font is indeed quicker, but if CODY decides to apply some octagon generalship's movement, he could hunt his peck and his way to victory, similar like he did to Cruz. Everybody wants to see that CODY Garbrandt, the best of CODY Garbrandt, when he fought Dominic Cruz and became the world champion. If he applies that knowledge and that type of game plan rather than brawl, I think Garbrandt take this in. Not putting it in a parlay. I don't think I'm going to put this fight in a parlay. This is a pick'em bout, and despite the attractive plus money that you'd see entering this bout in a parlay. It just really isn't worth the value there. It's already a decent fight on the money line. I think pick your fighter, pick a method of victory, and have a great evening. I'll have some more fights to follow. Please like and subscribe. Thank you once again for sitting through all of this. This should be a fun card. Bet responsibly, bet safely, but more importantly, just enjoy the fights. Thanks again.